Hey peoples, and welcome back to my channel. It is, and I'm just go ahead and jump into this. It's day 28 of me not smoking. It may be 29 by the time I actually post this video, but I don't know, I'm not sure. It might be day 30. It depends on how long this goes. But yeah, day 28. And yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm struggling a little bit more than other people just because of my mentality, maybe. I don't know if, because I know I said before on like the day 14 about my irritability not being an issue anymore. And I think that maybe was just something that was going on. I was lucky that day, let's just say. I felt a little bit more positive that day because, yeah, it's day 28, so I guess it's 14 days, 2 weeks after I made that statement, that I'm retracting that statement. I don't know when the irritability is gonna level out because it's still very much so there. In everything, I mean, everything, no matter how much I try to just breathe and woosah and all that, yeah, everything irritates the hell out of me, which is one of the reasons why I rushed out here right now, because and I really didn't feel like filming this video or doing anything, just because I was just irritated so much. But yeah, today, and I'm gonna tell you about that in just a second, but let me just, I'm gonna do a quick short design, and I'm gonna do it on my right hand because I want to do like a candy cane nail, and I want my lines to be crisp. This is like my second cup of coffee, so I probably need to cut down on that so my lines will be less shaky looking and less blurry. Maybe I can get some crisper lines, but I don't know. It's gonna be, we're gonna see. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. And I'm gonna do some short stiletto tips today. And I've had these tips. I rarely use these tips. I've had them for over a year. And I don't know if you can really see it. And yes, y'all, I need to do some prep on my nails. But yeah, and I don't even remember, because as you can see, it's just a clear container. I don't even remember what kind of tips these were. The brand or whatnot, because again, these are very old. But yeah, we're gonna do, I'm just trying to get my sizes right now. So we can get started. But one thing that, the thing that just really irritated me, and I'm gonna jump right into it because I don't plan on spending a lot of time on these. I'm hoping to kind of get this over and done, but my tips aren't, I believe this is gonna be something that my daughter did, but none of the tips are in the right spot. All right, so I got my tips. All right, but as I was saying, it's day 28 of me not smoking. And yeah, irritability is still here. Headaches, I'm not really sure if the headaches that I've been having are something to do with me not smoking, or if it's more of my blood pressure issue. But I have noticed that I have been having extreme amounts of headaches. So again, that may have nothing to do with the fact that I haven't been smoking. But no cold sweats. Cold sweats kind of ended like maybe the first week, so that was good. I still don't sleep very well, and I could be up to like 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, turn around and wake back up about 6:30, and then go on about my day. Once I get out of class, I generally, it's like my body, and I think it's just more so being wore down from trying to intake all that information. It's like I get so tired and sleepy, so I take a quick nap. Generally it's about 45 minutes, and if I was to take that quick nap, that's pretty much like ruins the sleep for the night. I'll be up to like 3-4 o'clock in the morning if I take a nap after class. I try not to, try to fight through it, just because I know that's gonna make me stay up even later. But yeah, I don't sleep well. So my thoughts now is, seeing how it's been 28 days, I really don't, I don't know how long it takes for marijuana to leave out of your system and whatnot, but I do believe that I may need to discuss some things with my doctor about maybe something to help me sleep, because if I don't get any sleep, and that may be why I'm so irritated as well, because I'm not sleeping. But yeah, something's gonna have to give. I've been praying a lot, just to kind of keep my attitude in check. If y'all can hear that, that's my pit bull out there, and clearly he hears me in here and he wants to be heard. So I'll get back to you in just a moment. Okay guys, I did go ahead and do my prep off camera because, again, Polo out there barking around, barking like he wants to be part of the video. So that you guys didn't kind of just hear him in the background, I went ahead and did that prep off camera, and I'm just going in with my McCart Peel It Off base coat, because I want these nails to be able to pop right back off. I do, hold on, I know you see my head, but I was supposed to be taking my braids down today, but instead I came out here and started doing this. I don't feel like it. And then I gotta braid back up my daughter's hair that I took down the other day, and she walking around with her, just because she has tons of hair, she's just walking around with it out. Like, it's just flowing and flowing down her back, when in all actuality, what started out as this length is now this length due to the humidity, and it's just like this big afro puff. But you can't tell her, she ain't doing her thing, so I'm gonna let her have that. Yeah, and speaking of which, the thing that I was speaking on earlier that aggravated the hell out of me, I was just standing in the kitchen a few moments ago, cleaning up actually, when she walked through the back door and asked, could she have a piece of the pie that was in the fridge. And it's one of those, like, those chocolate silk type pies, mousse pies that you buy out of Walmart from the, you know, out of the frozen section. But anyway, they love those. And she was asking, could she have a piece? And I was like, yeah, sure, I don't care. I thought it was all gone, but yeah, go ahead and get it. Well, you guys, when I turned my back and she reached in the refrigerator to grab the pie, it was on the top shelf. So she grabbed it with one hand. And when she grabbed it, it kind of flipped over and, of course, came out of the pie pan and landed on the floor. And I just turned around and looked at it and looked at her, and the expression on her face is just like, she was so freaking disappointed. I felt so bad for her. But no, I'm not going to clean this up. You're going to clean this up yourself because it was a mess you made. But that wasn't the issue. She went ahead and cleaned it up, and she was like, I always do that. And I'm just like, yeah, it's fine. You cleaned it up. I mean, the pie's gone now, so it ain't really much we can do at this, do at this point. And I kind of just moved on. Well, she took the opportunity to go in and tell her dad about the pie falling. And I'm assuming she went and told him so that, because he was the one who bought the pie, maybe to kind of get him to get up and go get another one. I don't know. But yeah, she went and told him. And the thing that got me was, in the process of her telling him, my husband has this thing where he has the most, to me, inappropriate reactions whenever. I say whenever he opens his mouth, but I could be biased. But yeah, he went on, he was just like, and to him, he says it's joking. Okay. But he went on and be like, what? Just screaming like, what at her? And it may have made her chuckle. I don't know. I wasn't up there in the living room where they were. But I do know when it happened to her, when she dropped the pie, I saw the expression on her face. So I know it wasn't really a joking matter. Yeah, she did make a mistake, but it was something that kind of hurt her. It disappointed her. His response was, the jokingly like, what? Okay. But then her brother heard the commotion and he was like, what happened? And she was like, I dropped the pie. And his response mirrored my husband's normal reactions, because his response, he immediately hollered out, "You so stupid," and laughed. And I heard my husband laughing, because I know he knew that sounded just like him. That sounded just like something he would say. And y'all, when I tell y'all, This is probably where the whole irritation and irritability, and this is, again, I didn't respond. I didn't verbally say anything, but inside my blood boiled because I just feel like, and this is the McCart Peel It Off base coat. I just feel like, you so stupid. I'm pretty sure she already felt that way, you know, having done what she did, drop the pie. And why was that the choice of words? And I can't say why, because I know that's the choice of words. I know why that's the choice of words you use, because that's your dad's typical response. So of course you would think that, but I don't know. That just irritated the hell out of me. I really just wanted to scream at both of them, like, just, I don't know. It triggered a nerve. And I only say that because that's not the part of my husband that I want him to mimic. That's not the part of my husband I want him to mimic. That's one of the things that I really don't like about him. And at this point, I don't care. He's not going to watch this video anyway. He never does. So I can say whatever I want. But it's just that it's a lot about me. They say, you know, your kids become you. They take on your characteristics, your personality, and all that. And it may very well be the case, because I do know I can be very emotional. And that's not something I necessarily want to pass down to my kids. But I do know that they can take after me with that as well. In point of fact, the other day, this is my son's first year on the basketball team at school. He's in the 7th grade. So pretty much this is their learning year. Well, you can't tell him that. He thinks that in his head, he wants to be an NBA player. And he immediately thought that had these goals and aspirations that once he got on the team, they're just going to win these games, and he's just going to go, everything's going to go fine. Well, when they lose a game, he takes it very hard. He takes it very personally. And I'm the first person to tell him, like, dude, there's no I in team. You are not the only person playing. As long as you've played your best, it's not much more that you can control. You can't control the next person. You can't control coaches or anything like that. So it's more so like, play your best, put your best foot forward, and kind of go from there. Well, the other night, he had a game, and when he came home, he was very, very upset. And I went in and I was trying to talk to him and trying to calm him down. And I kind of told him to come go out the door with me so he can kind of get some fresh air and breathe, because he was very, very emotional and very frustrated. Well, the very next day, when my husband came home from work, because he works overnight, so I'm assuming this was something that sat on his soul all night long while he was at work. And he came home the next morning and wanted to discuss that. Want to discuss the fact that I went in and was trying to calm my son down, and he made the statement that I need to stop babying him. Well, needless to say, that began a whole, and I put it, just so you know, I'm freeze flashing it, freeze flashing my nails to kind of get them to adhere with some base coat. And this is Lavender Violets. I have plenty of base coats. This was just the one that was sitting right in my face. The Lavender Violets base coat is how I stuck my tips to my nails on top of the peel it off my base coat. But now I'm gonna pop them in the lamp for about 60 seconds just to make sure the tips are secure. But yeah, that, with him telling me I need to stop babying my son, that began a whole argument, like, because in my head, I didn't feel like I was babying him. He is my baby. I don't know what that means. He's my child, so I guess I'm going to be babying him forever because he's going to always be my baby. I wasn't trying to pacify him at all. I was really more so letting him know that his feelings were valid. If he was upset, he had every reason to be upset. He lost the game. Who wouldn't be upset? But I was also trying to make him know that he's going to have to move on from it. He can't just dwell in, being upset, in that frustration. He's going to have to let it out and then move on. And that's simply what I was saying. But in his head, he's like, and it started a whole argument. So I say that to say that's not really something I wanted to pass down on my kids. The same way I don't want my son to get that little habit from his dad of negativity. But yeah, I didn't say anything just then, just because after he said she was stupid, because he went on just saying other stuff, joking, and she responded, joking back or whatnot. But I don't know, am I wrong? Like, am I overthinking this? Like, I don't know. I don't know. That's just, I think we need to do better in what we project on our kids. But I don't know. I will say prayer works. Prayer works. Because in the midst of the argument the other day, I was just like, you know what? I'm not finna sit here and do this over a middle school basketball game. I don't care that much. I care about my son. I care about him playing basketball. I care too about this whole argument. Like, it was childish and pointless. And y'all, I just start praying out loud in the midst. And you know what? You know what the Lord did for me? He silenced that man. He silenced that man. And he made that man get up and leave from out of that room where I was. That was the quickest response I have ever gotten from a prayer. Thank you, Jesus. Prayer works. Because I was about to lose it. And yeah, what started out as, I'm sure, what he thought was a simple, let me just try to irritate her a little bit. I've been irritated all night at work, and she just looks too calm and chill in here just laying down, because I didn't have any school that day. So I was relaxing when he came home. And I guess I must have just, again, he had a horrible night at work. And just the sight of me chilling just didn't sit right in his spirit. But yeah, so people, I don't know, just be cautious. Just be cautious. Every response don't actually need a response, need a reaction, because sometimes in the heat of the moment, the wrong reaction can lead to consequences that you can't really come back from. So I just thank the Lord that he reminded me in that moment what I needed to do, and just to feel peace again. Because yeah, even the ones closest to you can attack you on a spiritual level. And I don't think it's actually, again, I don't think it's them. I blame it on the fact that he's just weak. And when I say weak, I don't mean physically. He's not. He's very strong. He tosses cars around plants. Toss cars around the plant all night long, I'm sure. But, and so I don't mean he's physically weak. I just mean spiritually. And when you're spiritually weak, you do allow those spirits, those evil spirits, to come into your vessel, to come into you, and allow them to work through you. So I just try to pray for him and pray for his strength, because again, it's not necessarily him, but him allowing those evil spirits to kind of work through him. But yeah, and I'm just sharpening up my stiletto look before I start with the acrylic, because I hate to put the acrylic on and then try to shape my stiletto, because it always just seems too thick and rounded. And again, I want some kind of sharp tips on these. I want her to be sharp. I want her to be like, ah! So yeah. So if you know people in your life that are spiritually weak, please just pray for them. Just pray for them. Charge it to their head, not their heart. Because it doesn't necessarily, and sometimes they're not even aware. And that's the part that makes them weak, because they're not even aware that they're allowing that evilness to come in. It just happens. So if they don't know to pray for the strength. So, but if you know, then it's your duty to help them out. And the Lord hears you. The Lord listens. So, but that's just my little irritation of what was going on. So I've been sitting here looking, and I actually think instead of acrylic, I'm going to use that poly gel that I was showing you guys before. So I did end up using this on my niece's birthday nails, just after I had put the acrylic on to kind of hide, excuse me, to kind of hide the fact that the acrylic powder showed up so clear. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and do a whole set with this and see how that turns out. I don't use slip solution when I'm doing poly gel. I just use base coat. And seeing how my lavender violets is already sitting here that I use to put on my tips, that's what I'm gonna use in the form of base gel. It's a pretty full bottle. Let's see. I'm not gonna put it up, or maybe I will. I'm just gonna line the whole nail with base coat. And we'll go from there. So, again, I tell no one that I am an expert at this, because I'm not. I am not. This is something I used to love going to get my nails did at the shop, and nails were just a major part of me just feeling like I was okay and doing okay. Well, COVID, of course, hit. And we were all locked down indoors, and I wanted my nails done so bad, so bad, so bad, so bad. And I do know some people were doing them out of their house and stuff like that. But no, I was very much one of those people like, I don't want to get sick. Don't come around me. And plus, it's just, I don't know. I guess I just was bored and needed something to do. So I ordered a little poly gel kit. It was not acrylic at first. It was a little poly gel kit that I ordered off of Amazon. That was maybe like $10 or $15, something like that. But I ordered the kit, and I was just like, I'm gonna do my own nails. How hard could it be? Turns out it was very hard. Very, very hard. Like this whole pandemic thing and not being able to get my nails did made me start doing it, learning how to do it myself. And that first set was horrible. The second set wasn't much better. It probably took about, I'd say a good 6 months to a year before I felt like I saw improvement. And y'all, I love my sister because she was there from the very beginning, sticking her hands out, letting me play on her hands, practice on her hands. And she was always, I don't think she's ever, not once, told me a set of nails were ugly, wouldn't do it. She was like, she's always told me they look good. This is something I could improve on or something like that. She's always been so positive about it. And y'all, you need that in your life. You really do. If you don't have an Alicia in your life, get you one, because my sister, she's one of my biggest fans, and I love her and I appreciate her so much for that. I hate that she moved away from me, but she had to do what was best for her. Yeah. Whatever. But anyway. Let me get me a little of this base coat on this little dabber. Just pour it on in. Since it don't want to drip, I'll pour. Now I need my polygel brush. So we're gonna go in and I'm gonna just make a lot of noise, but I'm gonna just let you guys kind of watch the process. And a lot of people get so technical with it and be trying to tell you, oh, you have to start at the top and gently. If you get the polygel on the damn nail, play with it until it got it how you want to, because that's the whole purpose in using polygel. It doesn't set until you put it in the light. So you just want to make sure, and it ain't no art to this. It ain't no specific, or at least I've found, it's not really a specific way you have to do it, as long as you melt it into the cuticle. That's all you really want, just to melt it into the cuticle. See? And that's when I just go in and start. Once I got my cuticle laid, I just go in and start just playing with it, moving it around the nail to make it look like a nail. I don't like my nails too thick. So I always go in with the least amount as possible. I do flip it upside down just to kind of get that, create that curve. And I'm just gonna cure it because I think that's good enough for me. I think what the grooves that I am seeing at the tip of the pinky can pretty much be what word am I trying to use? Buffed out. I'm gonna use this tool. I'm gonna use that tool to kind of fix that, but whatever you call it. Said Kermit the Frog. Okay, got my polygel on the nails. And this is right after coming out of the lamp. And again, like I said, I didn't show you guys every single nail because there's no special way or no specific way I feel that you have to put the polygel on, just as long as you get it on the nail. So I'm just gonna take me a little lint-free wipe and some alcohol. And I'm just gonna wipe them down so I can start, go back in and shape and buff them. So we got it all on, got it shaped and buffed. Excuse the dryness around my cuticles. I was just scrubbing whatever that was. Not sure if this is the base coat that got up around the cuticles or because it's clear. I don't know. It's not a big deal. I'll fix that up at the end. But this is what we have. And I actually like this. I'm gonna attempt it. Goy. Interpretation of colorful life. I never noticed that's what's up under the bottom of it. But anyway, this is the natural nude. And I like it. It works. So now it's time for my design. And we're done. And this is the finished design. Thanks for watching.